In previous section, we have studied what are integer, boolean, float and strings. Now in this section, we are going to check out collection data types in Python that are list, tuple, set and dictionary. Each of them has their unique characteristics and are really handy and useful in Python. In most of the program, we are going to use list, tuple, set and dictionaries. So in this lecture, let's check out what is a list. A list is a collection which is ordered and changeable. And in Python, we represent a list by a set of square brackets. So let's create one. I have created a new file, collection data types. And let's create a new list. I will name it as fruits is equals to a set of square bracket, and inside that I will write my elements that are apple, mango and banana. So these are the three elements of a list. And now if I try to print this list, you can see it has printed the list, that is apple, mango, banana. As I told you earlier that lists are ordered and changeable. Okay, so lists are ordered and changeable. Now as you can see, it has printed in the same order what we have mentioned over here, that is apple, mango and banana. So we are going to get the same sequence of the list which we have declared already. So this is ordered, and what I mean by changeable is that we can change the item of a list. So first of all, this is how we print a list. Now accessing a specific element in a list, now to access a specific item in a list, we use print fruits. And let's consider I want to access mango, then basically I will just use a set of square brackets inside which I will pass the index of this element, that is 1. If you just provided the 2 after instead of 1, it will be printing banana. So why is that? Basically the list starts with an index of 0. So if I provide 0 over here, it will print apple. If I provide 1, it will print mango. If I provide 2, it will print banana. Now let's check out what will be the output. And as you can see, it has printed mango. So basically what we are doing, we are referring to the list fruits, and then using a set of square bracket, we are pointing to the index. So this entire code is pointing towards the mango item of a list. Okay, and we have successfully printed that item. Similarly, we can also print other item as well. So apple, mango, banana. So this is how we can access each and every element in a list. Now lists are changeable, right? So let's check out how lists are changeable. Now let's consider if I don't want the third element, that is the second position in the fruit list, to be banana. I want it like kiwi. So I will simply refer to that position. Similarly, what we have done over here, we are referring to the banana position, right? So I will just simply write fruits of 2 Now this is pointing to the banana, and I will just use equals to sign, and I will write kiwi. Okay, now the element of fruits list has been changed to kiwi. So banana is replaced by kiwi, and now if I try to print fruits, as you can see, banana has been replaced by kiwi. So lists are basically changeable. We got the both characteristics of the list, data, they are ordered and they are changeable. Now after that we can loop through the list. So I will just commit each and everything first. Currently we haven't gone through the loops in Python, that are for loop, while loop, which we are going to cover in our next section after this collection data types are over. So if you don't understand the code, not an issue, just see what the logic says. We'll use for item in fruits, print item, and let's run this code. And as you can see, it has successfully printed each and every item of that list. Now we can also check that if a certain element exists or not in a list. So if I use if, then I will just pass a string that is, let's consider as apple with a capital A, apple in, and our list name is fruits, then print apple exists in fruits, and let's run this code. And as you can see, it has printed apple exists in fruits. So this is how we can check if a certain element exists in a list or not. After that we can also check out what will be the length of a list. So let's comment this, print, we will use a function that is len, and then surround the variable with parentheses. So I will use fruits in between the parentheses, and this will return the length of the entire list, and the print function will simply print that output. Now if I run this code, it is going to give me 3, and don't confuse with the indices and the length. Okay, basically length will start from 1, so 1 to 3, so the length of the list will be 3, but the indices will be 0, 1, 2. So totally different concept, indices are different, length is different. Okay, so don't get confused in that. Now we can append an item to a list. What I mean by append means we can add a item to the list. Let's consider as, I will just simply print the fruits. Okay, now if I want to add another fruit inside this fruits list, I will simply use fruits dot append. Let's consider as again kiwi. Now the list will be, first of all, when we declared the list, it will have 3 items, right? Then we have appended an item that is kiwi. So if I now try to print the list, you guess the output, it will be showing 4 items, that is apple, mango, banana and kiwi, because we have used dot append and then we have passed the element which we want to append. After that we can also add, let's consider, what if I want to add a specific item at the second position. right after the apple, because in this case dot append, the item is added at the last position. But what if I want to pass the index? So I will simply just use dot append fun comma kiwi. Sorry, I will use dot insert, then I will pass the index, that is 1, and the object I want to pass, let's consider as grapes. And let's run this code, and as you can see, grapes are added after apples, before mango. So this is how we made it to work. We used dot insert function, we have passed the index and we have passed the object as well, the string which we want to add in the list. After that, we can also remove a specific item in a list. Let's consider that I don't want apple in my list. So I will simply use fruits dot remove, and I will use apple. Now if I try to run this code, apple will be gone from the list. So basically we use dot remove function to remove a specific item from a list. Then we can also use dot pop function to remove the first item of the list. Let's consider as fruits dot pop. Okay, so basically if we use only the dot pop option, it is going to remove the first item, that is, it will simply remove the last item, that is the kiwi. So it has removed the last letters, the last item of the list, which is kiwi. This is how pop function works. We can also pass an index in that. Let's consider it as 2, and if I run this code, now banana is gone because the second element is banana, 0 1 2. Yeah, that's right. Actually basically at this position, how the list will look like is fruits is equals to apple. Okay, then we have inserted grapes at the first position. Okay, after that on the third position it will be mango, at the fourth position it will be banana, and at the fifth position it will be kiwi. Okay, so basically we have removed apple from this list, so apple is gone. Then we have popped the second index inside the fruit list, so basically 0 1 2. So that's how banana has been removed from this output. Okay, from this fruits list. This was the second index of the fruits list. This is how pop function work. After that, if we want to just clear entire list, there is another option, that is fruits dot clear, which will remove the entire items inside a list. And now if I try to run this, the list will be empty. This is how an empty list looks like, a set of square brackets. And basically these are the lists in Python, which we are going to use a lot. So now in the next lecture we are going to check out what are tuples. So see you in the next one.